3 undervalued Japanese SUVs that mechanics recommend. After years of advising buyers, I have noticed something most people miss. The most reliable vehicles are not always the best sellers. While most shoppers gravitate toward the usual well-known models, there are SUVs that fly under the radar, and that is precisely why they represent the best opportunities on the used car market. Here are 3 Japanese SUVs that mechanics recognize instantly, because when they show up at the shop, it is usually just for routine maintenance. Since they are not popular, their used prices are far lower than they deserve based on their actual quality. These are true hidden gems for the informed buyer, especially number 1, a model that many mechanics consider one of the toughest vehicles Japan has ever produced. 3. Toyota Venza, one of the most curious cases in the automotive industry. A Toyota that the brand itself did not know how to position properly. The Toyota Venza arrived on the market offering the comfort of a Camry-style sedan combined with the ride height and cargo space of an SUV, sitting right between the RAV4 and the Highlander. The problem was that nobody quite understood what category it belonged to, and it ended up collecting dust at dealerships until Toyota eventually pulled it from the market altogether. But that commercial failure created a tremendous opportunity for savvy buyers. Mechanically, the Venza is essentially a Camry with an SUV body. It shares the same platform, the same core components, and Toyota's legendary reputation for long-term reliability. Under the hood sits the 3.5-liter V6 engine, 2GR-FE, also used in the Avalon, the Sienna minivan, and the Lexus RX 350. Mechanics worldwide have seen this engine surpass 180,000 miles on nothing more than regular oil changes and basic maintenance. A 4-cylinder 2.7-liter version also existed, but the unanimous recommendation from technicians is to go with the V6. The best years to buy are 2014 and 2015. By then, Toyota had ironed out all the early issues and refined the model thoroughly. The 2014 model scored an impressive 4.76 out of 5 in owner satisfaction evaluations, and the 2015 was the final production year, incorporating every improvement throughout the model's life cycle. Its average annual maintenance cost is around $440, which is surprisingly low for a vehicle of its size and capability. It is best to avoid the 2009 to 2011 models, which experienced problems with the steering column, brakes, and airbag sensors. A 2014 Venza with a V6 engine, leather seats, and a panoramic sunroof can be found for between $9,000 and $12,000. For that same price, you would barely get a base RAV4 with a 4-cylinder engine. In other words, you are getting a near Lexus powertrain at used Corolla prices. The Venza can also tow up to 3,500 pounds, which is enough for a small boat or a utility trailer, and it gets between 20 and 25 miles per gallon on the highway, quite reasonable for 268 horsepower. One thing to watch for: check for oil leaks around the variable valve timing system line. A repair that typically costs between $500 and $900. If it has already been corrected, that is actually a good sign about the previous owner's maintenance habits. 2. Lexus 350. Many people would not expect to see a Lexus on a list of affordable SUVs, but here lies one of the biggest myths in the used car market. Maintaining an RX 350 costs an average of about $550 per year, less than a Honda CR-V, a Subaru Outback, and roughly half of what a BMW X5 demands. The reason for its accessible pricing is simple. people still believe that owning a Lexus is expensive, and that myth keeps resale prices low for those who know the reality. The RX 350H's secret is that mechanically it is very similar to a Toyota Highlander. It shares the same underlying architecture and the same reliable 3.5-liter V6 engine found in the Camry, Highlander, and Venza. Maintenance parts cost the same as their Toyota equivalents, and any independent shop that services a Camry can work on an RX 350 without needing any special tools or diagnostic equipment. The recommended years are 2008 and 2009, the last of the second generation, with all engineering adjustments already implemented. The 2009 model won quality awards from J.D. Power, and many owners report reaching 125,000 to 185,000 miles without any serious mechanical problems. It is wise to avoid the 2004 RX330, which had a well-known issue with the dashboard cracking due to heat exposure. Additionally, the RX330 uses a timing belt that needs replacement every 75,000 miles at a cost of $800 to $1,500, while the R350 uses a timing chain that requires no periodic replacement whatsoever. A 2008 RX 350 with all-wheel drive can be found for between $8,000 and $12,000, and a 2009 for between $9,000 and $13,000. It runs perfectly on regular 87-octane gasoline, with no need for premium fuel like most German luxury SUVs require. That adds up to considerable savings each year. A reliable Japanese luxury SUV at the price of a common, everyday model. 1. Mazda 5. If I had to recommend just one vehicle, it would be the Mazda CX-5. Outstanding reliability, low ownership cost, and a driving experience you genuinely enjoy. Although it is one of the highest-rated SUVs, it rarely appears among the first suggestions. Most buyers keep repeating RAV4, CR-V, or Forester, but when you look at the data, the CX-5 consistently ranks among the very best. Its average annual repair cost is about $447, one of the lowest in the segment. Consumer Reports named Mazda the most reliable brand overall in 2020. The reason for its low visibility is that Mazda is a smaller company with fewer dealerships and less advertising than Toyota or Honda. But when you drive a CX-5, you notice the difference. Precise steering, an agile chassis through corners, and a much more refined feeling behind the wheel. Automotive journalists describe it as the only compact SUV that is genuinely fun to drive. The first generation, spanning 2013 to 2016, has two standout model years: 2015, which addressed earlier oil consumption reports and more widely adopted the 2.5-liter Skyactiv engine, and 2016, which brought improved sound insulation, a more refined interior, and a more modern infotainment system. It is best to avoid the 2013 model equipped with the 2.0-liter engine, which is somewhat underpowered for daily driving, and on 2016 units, verify whether a recall related to rear LED light issues has been resolved. In regions where road salt is used during winter, it is essential to carefully inspect the undercarriage, as Mazda uses thinner anti-corrosion coating than Toyota, and the steel can rust more quickly after several years of exposure. If significant rust is found, the best approach is to look for a unit that comes from a warmer climate region. Beyond that concern, the mechanics are straightforward and affordable. Timing chain with no replacement needed, oil changes between $50 and $80, spark plugs every 75,000 psi, and fuel economy of up to 30 miles per gallon on the highway. A 2015 CX-5 can be found for between $9,000 and $12,000, which is remarkably low pricing for one of the best SUVs in its entire class. Conclusion: the Toyota Venza offers a Lexus-level powertrain at used Corolla prices. The Lexus RX 350 delivers Japanese luxury with Toyota maintenance costs, and the Mazda CX-5 provides one of the highest reliability ratings on the market for less than much more common SUVs cost. Three solid models that continue to be overlooked by the majority of buyers.